How's it going, guys? It's been a while since I've done a video for you guys. I know it's been a long time. I bet you it's been 2 to 3 months since I've posted any videos. I've been doing Ironman triathlon training this summer, and anyway, I'm a week away actually from the race. So as the date of this video that I'm filming right now, I've got one more week. But it's taper. So for those of you guys that don't know, taper is where you just go from, like your peak training, and then you start tapering down your training to race day, so that you come into the race rested. And so I'm tapering. I've got a lot more time on my hands. I thought I'd roll in front of the camera and do a video for you guys. Stinger actually asked me to do kind of like a look or a review of their rail, and so they sent me one of these to check out for them, and I'm actually really impressed with it. And when they actually asked me to look at it, I thought it'd be a great addition to the Ruger AR556. This is a great rifle. This is one of my favorite rifles that I own. It's a total beater rifle, very cheap. Right now, I know that the market right now, I mean, you can get these things for like $450, something like that. And so a lot of guys are getting into the entry level AR-15s because they're just so prevalent and so inexpensive right now. But I know a lot of guys that are getting into these rifles really have plans to change up the rifles as well because of the stock configuration that they come in. And I thought when Stinger approached me, I thought, man, this would make a really good upgrade addition to the AR556. Because is there anything wrong with the setup that it is in now? Not really, not necessarily. I mean, you have your fixed front sight, you have your plastic handguard. Just flip up rear sight and standard buttstock. These rifles are completely functional. I mean, I'm running a Hollow Sun red dot on the top. That's the 515CU circle dot from Hollow Sun. And I'm running that up there, and does the front sight interfere with it? It does a little bit, but it's still doable, okay? But the capabilities of this rifle versus something that has more rail real estate is there's quite a bit more capability with this type of setup. And so for $100, which is I think what these rails go for, maybe just like $103, something like that from Stinger. You can get on their website and check it out. I'll leave a link down below in the description box. For $100, you're getting a full 15-inch M-LOK handguard. And I gotta say, right off the bat, guys, the fit and finishes on these seem to be really, really nice. They seem to be pretty smooth. They're pretty well deburred, so there's not really a lot of spots to snag. You have QD slots right here at the base of the rail on both sides, which is really nice. Ambi carry there, M-LOK all the way up, and they also on this particular rail of theirs, they put a little bit of permanent pick rail here on the end, which is nice because this rail actually what I would actually picture this going on to. Also is like an SPR, like a special purpose type rifle, like more of a long range setup. You put the 15-inch handguard on like an 18-inch barreled rifle, and it would make a really nice, kind of like a designated marksman or an SPR style setup. And the actual permanently fixed piece of pick rail here on the end makes a great spot for your bipod. So yeah, it's a really nice addition that they've added to the rail. And the way it looks in the front, it has that kind of like Pac-Man opening in the front there. I think it adds a little bit of style too. So, but yeah, for $100, you're getting a 15-inch M-LOK handguard that seems really solid, and you're doing it for what, $103, something like that. It's 6061T aluminum. I'd love to see it in 7071, but you know what? It's really not that big a deal. It's going to hold up just fine. The cool part about this, actually, this rail overall is with the barrel nut included on the end here, and all the hardware included. This rail here came in for me at 11.68 ounces. So that's really, really light. It's lightweight. It's not chunky. It's not overbuilt where it doesn't need to be. And yeah, so just first initial impressions of the the rail, I'm really impressed with it for the money. Another rail that you guys have seen that runs about the same is the GunTech rail that I bought for the Project Cheap Carbine, and that was right around $100. And I gotta say, guys, that the Stinger is a nicer built rail than the GunTech, in my opinion, and it is made in the U.S. Okay, so it is U.S. made, which is phenomenal. So I mean, so you can get into like a Ruger AR556 really pretty much on the cheap, right? And then for $100 plus, like, you know, what it would cost to get a low profile gas block and a front flip-up sight to go along with your rear flip-up sight, you know, you're looking at maybe $20 for the gas block, you know, $50 for the front flip-up sight, and $100 for this. So you're looking at about $175. You can transform this rifle into something that we're going to show you here in just a minute, because we're actually going to put the rail on the rifle. So yeah, so I mean, it's definitely going to transform the rifle, and it's going to make it a lot more capable for you. So without further ado, let's go ahead and install this thing, and we'll show you how that's done. All right, so first things first, we're just going to break the rifle down here, strip the upper down, take our bolt carrier group and our charging handle off. So now we have the upper, just as we see it here. Now, interestingly enough, right? If you can see here, guys, I actually am missing one of the pins from the gas block. That was lost, I don't know, 1,000 rounds ago, something like that. So it's worked its way out. So we do have one more pin in there that we're going to need to drive out in order to get this off. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I've heard these are really hard to get out. Okay, so stuff is never easy. But success. We were able to drive, I was able to finally drive that stupid pin out. So now we've got a loose gas block. Oh, sweet. That just came right off. I was hoping it would. Good, so we're going to just pull the gas block off. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to remove the front here, which shouldn't be super difficult because, yeah, there we go. Because I just tightened it on after shooting this gun suppressed last time. So, okay, so we're going to slide off the... I did it. All right. Well, that was a lesson in frustration. It always is. I don't know why I'm ever surprised when it's difficult. It always is that way. Okay, now we should be able to get the actual barrel nut off of this one pretty standard with a armorer's tool, hopefully. But the gas block and the front sight is definitely removed, and we're ready to go. So now what we also need to do, because we are also keeping the gas tube that came with the Ruger, we need to drive that little roll pin out here and then take that off. I am going to be using, if I have it laying around here somewhere, I'm actually going to use a gas block that I had from an earlier build that I'm not using currently, which is a low-profile Wilson Combat. I'll find that. Anyway, let's drive that pin out next. My sandbag. Now we're going to reseat the gas tube back into the Wilson Combat. Finish driving it with our pin. Our punch. Alright, so here we go. So we got our old gas tube into our new gas block that we're going to put on the barrel. So now we got to remove the barrel nut. Okay, so here's something really interesting, right? I put the, this is crazy. I put the armor's wrench on here, right? And I do this. Barely touch it. And the thing comes loose. Holy cow, Ruger. That was not torqued on there properly. That was not torqued on there properly. I cannot believe it. I barely touched it. I mean, that was like hand tightened. That's crazy. That was hand tightened. Wow. Okay, so here's an interesting thing about the Stinger rail. Now, The barrel nut is an aluminum barrel nut, and according to the instructions, we're going to be torquing this down between the 30 and 60 foot-pound range, okay? So it is aluminum. Now, I think they do also sell a steel barrel nut with this, but I'm really not super concerned about the safety of an aluminum barrel nut. I think it's going to be just fine. So we're going to go ahead and torque this down now. What you torque it with is you actually torque it with like this crow's foot. Okay, so it's a crow's foot wrench. They sent me this with it. I'm pretty sure that it comes, they come like that when you buy it. I think you get a crow's wrench with it. But anyway, you're going to torque it down with this with your actual torque wrench. Okay, so we just got a little bit of moly grease. I'm just going to kind of put along the barrel extension here just to make sure that it sits nice. Okay, right there, good. And then also I'm going to put a little bit of grease on the inside of the threads of the barrel nut, just so we don't have any seizing, okay, of the threads. Especially with aluminum on aluminum, we want to make sure that that there's not going to be any actual issues with that. So, okay, now we're going to thread this on. Okay, there we go. Now, what they recommend is starting off with 30 foot-pounds. So we're going to go ahead and set our wrench to the 30 foot-pound range. And we want to make sure that that our wrench and crow's foot is in line with each other. There's our 30 foot-pounds. Okay. And now what we're going to do is I'm actually going to loosen it up, okay? So we've tightened it down to 30 foot-pounds. Now we're going to drive it back off, and now we're going to tighten it back up again. Back up to 30. Okay, and now we're going to loosen it again. And what this does is this seasons the threads, okay? So it seasons everything up, make sure it's tight. Okay. Now, one more time, and I'm going to actually take it, they recommend between 30 and 60, so I think I'll just take it up to 40 foot-pounds. So let me just drive that back up to 40. They recommend doing that a couple times to season the threads, whatever. We're going to be good on this. So we're going to go ahead and tighten it up to 40 foot-pounds. There's our 40 foot-pounds, and voila. Now our barrel is now attached again to our upper with the gas block. Now, the beauty of this is that it has no teeth, and so it allows for clearance of the gas tube. So you don't have to time this this barrel nut, which is immensely convenient. For those of you guys that have had to deal with these toothed, okay, ones that Ruger doesn't bother even tightening down. Oh my gosh, can't even believe that. For those that have had to deal with that, they're a pain in the butt. So the fact that that you don't have to deal with that is really, really convenient. What I'm going to do is just take a little bit of ballistol here and just kind of spray down the gas block area just to make sure it's a little bit more lubed up. All right, and we're going to go ahead and put on our gas block. Okay, we're just going to give it a few little love taps around it here. Alright guys, as you can see, we've settled the gas block up against the shoulder there, and it is all set, and we should be good to go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and tighten down the set screws. Alright guys, so the set screws are tightened down, and we're ready to go. What I'm going to do though is just kind of wipe down the barrel now that I have access to it, while I have access to it. Just wipe everything down, make it look nice. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put our handguard on there. So here we got the Stinger 15-inch handguard. Let's slide her on top. Nice. That slid on nice. Dude, does that not look good or what? Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to install the what they call the anti-slide plate. And we're going to go ahead and put that in here. I believe it goes right in like that. Okay. What I'm going to do before I cinch down the actual set screws is I'm going to put a little bit of Loctite on them, just to make sure that they stay in place. They recommend putting these set screws on between 20 and 30 foot-pounds. You know, if you guys don't have an actual inch-pound wrench, then you know you can really eyeball it if you want to. But I do recommend setting things up like they recommend. I really like how simple the design of this rail is, how simple it is to install. Man, I gotta say, guys, it really goes a long way to me when they've put some actual thought into designing the actual rail and making sure that it's easy for the end user to actually do it. Okay, there it is. What's really nice, okay, so that's on there, 25 inch-pounds. What's nice is you can see right here on the edge, you see how there's a little tab there and a little tab right there. Those are your anti-rotational things built into the actual rail itself, so it's not going to rotate off of the receiver because they're locked in there. And then that little plate there fits in the groove of the barrel nut, which allows it so it doesn't come off the end. Pretty simple, right? Really simple. Easy design, which is really nice and convenient. But there you go, guys. There it is. Man, that looks really good. Let's throw the actual hider back on here so you can see how it looks finished. And then I'm going to clean my desk off, and we'll actually show you a little bit closer. Dude, that looks way good. That looks way good. That looks wicked. Dang, guys, I gotta say that has completely changed this rifle. I mean, utterly, completely changed it. I changed out the stock rear polymer sight for a couple of these YHM flip-ups that I've had laying around. So I put those on there, put the Holosun back on top, and where I've got now, I've got the sling attached to the midsection of the rifle there too. So look at that, though. Look how cool that is. Look how that comes right out to the end there of the barrel. That looks sweet. Gosh, guys, for $100, man, you really, really can't go wrong with going with a free float, full length M-LOK. Now, they do have different sizes, okay? So they have shorter length ones. I really like the looks of a full-length handguard. You will save a little bit of weight by going with a shorter one. So for those of you guys that are looking at more of a lightweight rig, I would definitely recommend going with a shorter handguard. But guys, if you're in the market for a really nicely built quality handguard, definitely check out Stinger, guys. There's a link in the description box down below. I definitely recommend you go look at them. For $100 for what you're getting. You really can't beat that. You know, I really like Midwest Industries. I love their rails. They do a really good job on them, but they're twice as expensive. Okay, they're double the money, and you're not really getting double the quality, not from what I'm seeing with the Stinger. So we're definitely gonna do a lot of shooting with this in the future. This gun just gets shot up like crazy, so you guys are gonna see this being run in the future. But I gotta say, guys, that just completely transforms this rifle, and for $100, man, you cannot go wrong with it. So, all right, guys, any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. Let me know what you think of the Stinger handguard. And guys, check them out. And if you go to get one, let them know that DocTac Dad sent you. I'd appreciate it. So, all right, guys, good to see you guys. I'll try to make more videos here coming up. I'll definitely be more active than I have been. But until then, I'll catch you guys next video. See ya.